Amy Shannon here, the Rock Nerd. Yes, that's me. I am the Rock Nerd, and I just kind of wanted to share a little bit of information. I started this project doing YouTube and my website, and it's something that I thought, okay, I'm getting away from just taking a break from writing and enjoying my other passion, which is studying rocks. And it used to be just admiring them and touching them and watching and knowing how that just because something may look plain on the outside, if you break it open, it's very beautiful. It's like people. You cut through that hard rock and then you can see a beauty inside. Even what may look like a plain old stone or pebble, if you cut it in half, good enough to, I use a handsaw. I have a precision tools where I can polish and things like that. It's not the tool you're thinking of, but this is a very similar rotary tool with different attachments, and I really like it, and I have to be careful because not only do I have rheumatoid arthritis, but I have tremors, and so if you see me shaking at different points in any of the videos, that is not necessarily unstable camera, it's just an unstable body. Anyways, I have a lot of health issues, and so I live for the moment because you never know what's going to happen. And when I started rediscovering my love for rocks, and don't get me wrong, I've loved them all my life. I mean, even if I go someplace and it's something special, I'll find a rock and put it in my pocket. And it has to kind of be interesting. I'm not talking about a piece of gravel from somebody's driveway or decorative stones, not that they aren't beautiful, around the garden, or rocks they just throw down and roll over when they're creating trails or roadways. I find one that's unique and just sometimes it's just plain pretty, or it's the look and feel of it is something that's different from the other stones around it, and that just kind of brings it to I pick it up and I'm like, oh, I remember where I found this. And probably in, I don't know, could be tomorrow, I'll look at those same rocks and I won't know, but I'll know that they're important. And sometimes you may not know things with your head, but you will know things within your heart. And I want my kids to always, my boys, to know that no matter what, I still I still have things that I'm passionate about. Sometimes you look for your purpose in life. My purpose, I had many. My purpose was to survive several instances where I could have died, to be the mother of my sons, to take care of them to the best of my ability, to reunite and build a relationship with my father that was estranged. When I was a kid, it was a terrible relationship. As I got older, we were just estranged. After a while, after Mom died, I took care of him, made sure things were going good, and then I had to move on. I don't think we liked each other at that point in time. But then we got to years later, I went back after all the garbage happened in my life, and I built a human, yeah, an adult relationship with my dad, and it turned out that we had a lot of interest. My father has an IQ of 162, and that was after he was a teenager and had an accident. And so if he didn't have that head injury, he probably would have been a very smart man, smarter than he is now. My dad's like the go-to guy for, or he was the go-to guy for, Dad, I'm looking into this. Do you have a book about this? And he would go over and look at his shelves and, oh, I have this. Or he'd be like, no, but I'll buy you one. And that's kind of what we did. We traded. My dad loved nonfiction books, and he thought Bob Newhart is the funniest man on this planet. No, at this point in time, my father is still alive, but he has progressive dementia, so he doesn't know me. If he did, he would be very interested in the work that I'm doing now, even if it's just the research part. But he likes to learn new things. He's been like me, except he gets bored. Okay, I think I know as much as I need to know, so then I'll move on. Now I supply him with magazines that he likes, Smithsonian, New Yorker, Time, Newsweek, things that are can stimulate his mind, even if it's just through reading, and he has no idea what anyone else is around you. Because it just seems that when you have dementia, the first things you start to forget is the people who are in your life. You forget who they are. So, as he thinks of me as the lady who sends him magazines, that's perfectly fine with me. And I know I'm getting off on a tangent, and I do that because I have so much up here, and I wanted to get it out. My dad once said I was the smartest person that he knew. And to me that was a compliment, considering he and his older brother, who had passed away, have very extremely high IQs. Mine's okay, but it's not in the genius range. But really intelligence is something that was always important to me. Being able to learn from your mistakes, learn from other people's mistakes, and also figure out what your life means. People ask, what's the meaning of life? You make your life for you, and then take care of those around you, and show kindness and tenderness and love and trust above all else, and always be kind whenever possible, even if someone is treating you like garbage. Well, if they're trying to kill you, don't say have a nice day. But someone who's in a bad mood, if you're nice to them, sometimes it makes them even madder, because they want to pick a fight. Okay, back to rocks. Now, rocks are a lot like people. They evolve, and sometimes they start out with, they're just sediment on the ground floor of an ancient sea, or they're in the magma that hasn't yet set and rose to the earth. Now, magma, it's the hot, liquidy, burn you alive in an instant underground. Once it finds its way up to the surface and explodes through a volcano, erupts, then it becomes lava. And then when the lava cools, it creates rocks. And many times they're porous rocks. But sometimes the rocks it's so hot that when it comes in contact with something like sand, and could have a chemical reaction, because if you have the right kind of sand and you melt it at a certain point, and I don't remember the name of it or the degrees of that, but something I'll find out. You can get obsidian rock, and what that does is it, when it's cooled, it looks like pieces of glass. So there are times when you may go rock hunting or fossil hunting, and you see what looks like a black or a blue piece of glass. And I know this because I've done it. I've inadvertently thought, oh, this is glass, why do I have this? And I chuck it, and it turns out that it was not glass, but it was created to look like glass, and it even looked like the properties of glass. But it was because the sand was melted to such a high degree that it became glass-like. A lot of obsidian rock, they are black. Some, depending on how they were chipped away, because you have to be very careful, because obsidian rock is very sharp, and to harvest to unveil it, you have to be very careful. And I have a few in my collection, and they actually look like an arrowhead, so that can be very interesting as well. So I plan on providing information about rocks and minerals and ores and gems and the properties of those, as well as sharing various videos on the Adirondacks, maybe the Catskills, local areas that are close to my home. I have there in my area, there are nature preserves, there are rivers and creek beds, and a lot of interesting things that I hope that I will be able to get out and show. Right now it is January 2024, and yesterday it was 10 degrees. And I know that because even though I bundled up to go outside with my mobility scooter so I could go to the store, even though I was bundled up, it was so cold. My legs were so cold, I was afraid that I just wanted to get home. And of course, people don't shovel the walkways, so my mobility scooter gets stuck. Not a lot of rocks to see driving down the sidewalk, but as the warmer weather comes, maybe in a month or two, I'm going to try to start getting out a little more, maybe just myself, or having my sons take me to places that are nearby but that I can't go to on my own. I'm not driving down the side of the road on a highway unless it's got a sidewalk. Anyway, so this is just part of my story and what I want to share, and I hope that some of the stuff that I share with you is interesting and that it's fun. I'm going to have fun putting my projects together. It's like when I write, I come up with a concept and then I just get down and I do it. Doing this particular project, I am going to do a lot of planning because I need to study the topography and the depths and elevations of the Adirondack Mountains, and then also determine what scale they would be, and try to do that the best that I can. And I think that's going to be a project worth watching. And then I will do the project, and eventually, once it's complete, I will put the whole project series on YouTube. So this has been Amy Shannon, the Rock Nerd, and I hope you tune in next time.
Hi, this is Amy Shannon, the Rock Nerd,
And if you enjoyed the video that you just saw, you can leave a comment, and also be sure to click subscribe on the YouTube channel. And if you click that little bell, it looks like a little bell, you can get notifications every time that videos will drop. And also, if you go to my website, rocknerdamy.com, you can subscribe there and you will get some of my blog posts. And anytime there's an update, I'll be posting my videos also on my website, also other information and images and more information about geology, rocks, minerals, gems, you name it. I'm going to talk about it or provide you with information about it. Now, I don't think I'm the only one in the world who likes rocks. So remember, Geology rocks. So terrible. Anyway, it does. Hashtag Geology Rocks. Hashtag RockNerd. See you next week.